Welcome back. Here are the answers from the previous section, which showed you how to calculate all of these figures. For those of you that really need it, that are having trouble to see what's wrong, here are the formulae that are underneath. So we've taken some raw data and we've used functions and formulae to calculate statistics. We can do further calculation on this by doing things like, remember percentages from maths everybody, the number of people in first class divided by the total number of passengers. Now you can see this is worked out as a decimal. If I now click the percent button, you can see that 25% of people on the Titanic were travelling in first class. It's rounded this up. You can change the display precision here. So look, you can make the percentage more precise, or you can make it more readable, and you just have to decide an appropriate level. Now, what we've got here is this formula where you are dividing this number by this number. And we could redo the formula here, but we're doing spreadsheets. We want the computer to do the hard work for us. So what we're going to do is we're going to copy it down. However, it goes wrong, and the question is why. Have a look at this. Here we are doing this cell, which is the one we want, divided by the red one, which is the total number of passengers. That's fine. In the second one, we're dividing the number here, and this has moved down, which is what we did want, but the red one has also moved down, which is what we didn't want. Now we could just simply correct this here, and that's fine. But what we're going to do instead, because if you've got a large amount of data to do with this, it's going to be a pain, is we are going to change this second one here. If I highlight it like this and press the F4 key, this makes it into an absolute cell reference. Absolute cell reference. An absolute cell reference is one that does not move when you copy it about. Ordinarily, Excel moves it for you. So if we have a look and I drag down now, you can see you have the percentages here. Now what we've got is here C5, so this is C5 divided by C2. If we look at the one below it, it's changed C5 to C6, but it's left C2 alone. And the one below that, it's changed C6 to C7, but it's left C2 alone. You can insert a row, and for example you could have total here, and then we can put in a total using the sum formula, equals sum, and then highlight that, and then you could do the same here. There's also this auto sum button which allows you to do some of the usual functions like so. And you can see that is 100% of the people that were on board, the passengers that were on board, and then this is the broken down percentages. So we can do all sorts of great things like that. But for more complex stats work, we are going to use something that is Excel's real powerhouse, something that just puts data in your hands and lets you do whatever you want with it. So what we're going to do is go back onto the raw data tab, and we're going to click insert, and then we're going to insert a pivot table. I'm just going to say OK here because we're going to have it on a new sheet, and we can name this whatever we like that. We'll do that in a minute. Now, if you've done two-way tables in maths, this is going to seem familiar. So, for example, what I can do is I can put the price of a ticket with fare into values. Okay, and at the moment this tells you the total amount of money that was spent on Titanic tickets. Now that's not terribly interesting at the moment, so I'm going to change this to be the average. So I'm going to go into the field settings and change this to the average ticket price. There we are, our average ticket price. If you lose it by clicking off, you just click back onto the pivot table and it will give you things again. So what I might want to know is, well, look, if I drag sex down onto here, we can see that women paid more than men. Well, that's interesting. Why did women pay more than men? Not quite sure. So let's have a little look, for example, at putting class onto here. And this is where the two-way table comes in. And you can see that actually in first class, yes, women did pay more. And then in second class, well, women did pay more, but it's not quite as marked in third class. So it looks like women did pay more, but it might just be that there were more first class women travelling and there were more men travelling in second class. If we want to know that, we can drag this off and we can put on here name, and it will say the count of the name. And look, we can see that actually the third class, it was many more men travelling than women. So we can start to move our data around and find out about things. Now we could say, well, actually, is that true for everywhere they're embarking? And then we can use the filters up here. So I just click here and it will only show people that embarked at Southampton or people that embarked at Queensland. See, there's not many apart from the third class that embarked at Queensland, and then at Cherbourg it's a little bit more even. So we can really start to dig into our data and find out exactly what's going on. So in summary, you select the columns, you select the rows, you can filter the entire report, and you can also have different things down here in terms of values, and that will help you to get the kind of data you want. So have a play with it, and here are a couple of questions that you could have a go at. What was the percentage of women that survived compared to the percentage of men? What were the percentage of first class passengers that survived compared to second class and third class? When you break that down by women and children, is there a difference there? So have a go, start playing with the data, and hopefully you should be able to see what is going on. In our next video, we're going to look at modifying some of the original data so that we can get more out of it. Help us with our classifications. I hope this was useful. Give it a go yourself, attempt some of the things I've asked you, and just get used to flinging this data around and finding out things. If you have any trouble, please do get in touch with me. Thank you, and I'll see you next time.